It's a January motorsports tradition. Head to the beach, Daytona Beach, and bring your friends, your passion, and loads of energy, because this is a 24-hour festival. Stellar Field is set. The most beautiful sports cars you can see anywhere in the world, and this famed event and this prestige that goes with it. The 58th running of the Rolex 24 at Daytona on a beautiful and appropriate Florida day in January. Let's go and get this 24-hour classic started with the track record holder taking the green first. That's Oliver Jarvis leading the way from Juan Pablo Montoya and Jonathan Bomarito into turn one. Of super passionate, look at Kamui Kobayashi. This is for the lead of the race on Tristan Nunez, Mazda versus Cadillac. Let's ride with the Japanese driver. Let's see what kind of ground he can gain here through the tri-oval.
Oh!
Right up the inside.
That's
nice.
A move we used to see on the last couple of laps of 24 hours, Calvin, not with 21 hours to go.
That's the one that Ricky Taylor on Philippe Albuquerque to do a little bump and run and take the win here in 2017.
We were talking to Scott Dixon earlier today about this guy, the former F1 driver, currently leads the World Endurance Championship.
And this is real trouble.
There's a Penske prototype involved in this. Big trouble at the bus stop.
That prototype just almost clipped a car as he pulled back out on the bus stop. Penske's in the tires.
Well, there was Castro Neves in the 55 of Harry Tincknell. I think they're the two involved. Tincknell gets going again, and yes, it is Elio.
Battle for position there, though, running third and fourth at the time.
Castro Neves has damage to the right rear. The wing is completely gone as well. Going to have to come to pit lane. Take another look here. 55 looking up the inside of Castro Neves. That did not seem like it was fully on as Castro Neves goes for a ride and a hard hit into the tires. We're on board with the 55.
Big commitment there from Harry Tincknell. I don't think there was room to make that move, Townsend.
We've got a spinner. Two of them on the front stretch here, the 47 and the 23 have come spinning around the grass.
Yep, they're in the grass right now, in the grass infield just before the start-finish line. And is this going to be our first caution of the race?
Car down low.
Yeah, they were nose to tail there.
Yeah, nothing conclusive as of yet.
So the Rolex 24. Pagano up front in that 6 Acura.
You know what they say?
Fight for second.
Cautions breed cautions. These guys are getting racy up front, trying to make moves as the rest of the field flies into turn one. Big pack of cars, all the GT cars there.
It's Olivier Pla in that white 77 Mazda really putting pressure on Philippe Albuquerque just in front in the 31. That's where the battle was at the start as they headed down into turn one.
Porsche's now coming back on the Corvette. Pass for position. Side drafting, NASCAR style. You saw the Corvette. Here comes a prototype in the mix with nowhere to go. 3 wide into the bus stop.
And we talked about the GTDs with the ABS, analog brake system, and being able to dive further
car in the bus stop
into the grass. Take a look at who it was.
Looks like an Audi.
It's the 88.
That's the Canadian. I think that's the Canadian
WRT Speedstar Audi. Here's the incident.
Morad got on the inside of Keating and ran into the side of him and took them both off. It sent Keating off through the grass, and Morad did a half spin through the grass. So watch this. Dove in late. Keating turns in. Big contact there. Surprised there's not more damage than that, guys. They call that in NASCAR when a guy door jams you. That's not the chrome horn. That's getting door jammed.
Well, it's interesting. We've seen a couple of incidents tonight with drivers who typically
around. Coming out of turn 4.
And the Corvette gets taken out.
2 cars around as they were getting ready to enter turn 1. That's the 3. He was running second.
Oh, it's on at the front. It's always been on at the front between these two. Augusto Farfus and Earl Bamber, the BMW and the Porsche, for the lead of GT Le Mans.
Talk about two of the best in the business going at it. Bamber tries to take it deep. Farfus tucks it to the inside. Does he give him a lane coming off? This is tight. Bamber now has the inside line as they hit the brake zone for turn 6.
Change of lead in GTLM yet again.
Beautiful stuff.
Great run for for Kobayashi. Will the momentum get him by?
Yeah, but you got the pick of the GT car down there. Barbosa's going to stay left. Kobayashi couldn't pin him behind it.
Wheel to wheel as they get ready to enter turn one. Who will outbreak the other?
Kobayashi around the outside. He's been spectacular. Or did he go too deep? He gets the car to the apex and takes the position. I was beginning to wonder if he was going to be able to keep it under control, a little wiggle. And now you said, I think he's faster. Can he put some separation between himself and Barbosa?
They've still got the lap traffic they'll be dealing with.
Yeah, very different, and there's a different sound inside the cockpit as well. We spoke about this earlier in the show in terms of Lawrence Vanthoor. Oh, drama here, the 74 car. Is that down into the second horseshoe? Rear axle completely locked there.
We are coming to green. End of just the fourth full course caution. It ended at more than a 7 3/4 hour green flag run. Incredible. This race may not have the biggest field, but it's certainly given us a lot of storylines to talk about during and beyond this 58th running of the Rolex 24. Ready to go back racing, and there are 4 cars on the lead lap in DPI and overall. There are good scraps in all 4 classes. Let's go back to racing here at Daytona. And it's Ryan Briscoe that sees that green flag first. Right behind him, Loic Duval, just trying to get a little bit of extra tire pressure, temperature in that Mustang sampling prototype. And the Mazda of Olivier Pla is looking racy. He wants to get up there and mix it with him.
He really does, and with the 10 pitting, has really given the opportunity for that Mazda to get back onto the lead lap. You saw some cars passing before the green flag there. That's the DPI class split. They're allowed to go to the front of the pack for these restarts. So it's stacked all of those prototype machines up. Look how close the racing is there as they head towards the king.
Calvin, you cannot believe it. The lead car, Ryan Briscoe, is going to get a penalty, a stop plus 60 seconds for running a red light at pit exit. Oh my goodness, Wayne Taylor, team principal, will be losing his mind right now. Sitting in a commanding position, they will now be in a deficit position and playing catch-up. It's tough to see, our production team is telling us, the red light that is, but watch here, see if you can spot it. Left-hand side, left-hand side. Whoa, that was close. What did you make of it?
Well, it was tough for me to see it, but, you know, Ryan's got a better shot at it there. You know, you could see the tail end of the field, so they have to clear that pit exit before you're allowed to be released.
Watch it slow here, Cal. I think it changes right when he gets there. No, it's red there. And here comes Loic Duval through the bus stop. This is going to be super tight. Can the car that has dominated a good portion of this race now be in the worst possible position of not on the lead lap with 5 hours, 23 minutes to go? Briscoe is released. Here comes Duval into the tri-oval. Now Ryan Briscoe is going to have the fight of this race on his hands, trying to keep this Mustang sampling Cadillac behind him.
Yeah, and those Michelin tires for Ryan Briscoe will have cooled off a little bit, so it's going to be tough for him to respond here. And there you see he is down a lap with 5 hours and 23 minutes to go.
One simple error now puts Briscoe and the Wayne Taylor, Konica Minolta team in just a really tough position.
Welcome back to Daytona, and drama on the racetrack. The number 19 Grasser Lamborghini Hurricane, after a pit stop, Christina Nielsen brings that car to a halt just off the speedway. Fire in the engine bay there, Townsend, as she walks away.
Got to think it was some sort of oil leak that maybe kicked that off. You could see the fire was trapped under the rear engine cover for a bit. As we take another look here, you could just see the flames above the number 16 digital panel kind of licking through there, and there you get a better view through that rear Lamborghini engine cover. And she wisely pulls off very quick, slams on the brakes, and once she gets out here, super smart to go find the fire extinguisher external pole.
Look at that smoke inside the cockpit.
Yeah. So she's going to get out here. Watch her go to the left front of the lower windshield and look for the external fire release. That's great heads up. emergency work from Christina Nielsen, and that thing is just torching.
Briscoe back in the mix. What a break they caught there.
Vautier and Albuquerque in the yellow and white and red cars. They are not on the lead lap. They're in the way of Olivier Pla in that white prototype. He swings high. Green flag flies. Barbosa takes off. Harry Tinknell is in second. But look at Albuquerque. He's trying to get his lead back in that Whelen Engineering Cadillac. Right up behind what used to be the sister car.
Barbosa, 44 years old, and he showed his experience there with a beautiful jump on the restart.
Did a nice job. Unfortunately for Tinknell, I think he's got a wounded Mazda underneath him right now with that exhaust leak.
For Bobby Rahal and group. Look at this. In the draft, down to the bus stop. He's on the outside is John Edwards. That's the long way around there.
It really is, and Germany's getting super defensive there. That's going to cost him lap time, cost Edwards lap time, and maybe allow the 911 and the 3 car to close in on the lead.
Tell us more, Marty, about the two works Porsches.
Oh, the battle is so much fun, Lee. What happens every lap, the BMW is a little bit stronger on the straightaways, but the Porsches will gain almost a second in the infield. BMW going for the lead, Lee.
John Edwards up the inside, straddling the yellow line, and BMW to the front in GT Le Mans.
That gets pretty dicey, Calvin, because you've got to get back up before the banking's too extreme, and he just pulled it off. What a pass.
Joao Barbosa has just gone. He's looking around. You can see the helmet. He's looking in the mirror. There's nobody even close to Barbosa. He is gone.
Well, Philippe Albuquerque gave him a huge favor there. He just laid way back. None of the rest of the DPI cars could pass him, so that's given Barbosa a huge opportunity to leap to the front, take the pressure off, just hit his marks, and focus on lap time. Lock up there from one of the Acuras again. They are struggling for grip here. If that is the 6 car that's got some kind of an issue with the ride height on that race car that developed overnight.
I just love the fact that we've got 4 different manufacturers in the top 5 positions for GT Le Mans. And confirming Brian Briscoe did beat Joao Barbosa out. So Wayne Taylor Racing Cadillac, despite that penalty, that stop plus 60 seconds, Briscoe is out in front and back in command. Can he keep it there?
But that, look at the braking capability of that Porsche on the BMW in the infield, and now as we get it, he's going to come around the outside. When there's going to be a drag race on the banking, he's got to hang tough on the outside and use that BMW power.
Preferred line as they go through 6 and back out onto the high banks here at Daytona. A new leader in GTLM. It's been incredible for 22 hours, and it's heating up again.
But look at the battle for GT Le Mans. Jesse Krohn has got a run on Earl Bamber, the Kiwi. As Bamber ducks to the inside and hits pit lane, Jesse Krohn takes the lead for BMW.
Look at this, look at this. He was in the draft of the prototype, got that back down. Jesse Krohn up on the high line in the BMW, forcing the issue with Nick Tandy. It's down into turn 1. Porsche and BMW. Tandy will hang on to the lead of class.
Well, there's a bit of cat and mouse going on here as Tandy slides really wide. The battle for the win, really, when you think about Tandy's fuel strategy, he's not in really the mix for the win here today. It's more about the 912, so maybe he's trying to back that number 24 BMW up to his teammate, who's about 7 seconds back, but that has not worked out. Krohn is on the march right now in that BMW. He's got the pace to take the lead.
As he begins his final 3.5 miles, he said, but boy, can he hustle this car around this track. He is fast.
He put him in the car the other night. First lap out, he went to the top of the timesheets and just blew everyone away. He is Mr. Excitement, and certainly a great fit with his team.
And he's about to keep a 100% record as far as his career at the Rolex 24 at Daytona. As for his teammates, Ryan Briscoe has had a couple of class wins here before, but Briscoe is on the verge of his first overall win. For Ringer van der Zande, who did a terrific job like Ryan Briscoe, he's set for his 2nd overall victory, just like Kobayashi, in successive years. And how about one of the most famous racers ever, Scott Dixon, an Indy 500 winner and a 5-time IndyCar champion, second only to AJ Foyt in IndyCar racing history. Scott Dixon is about to join the likes of Brian Redman, Derek Bell, Juan Pablo Montoya and Christian Fittipaldi and others as a 3-time Rolex 24 overall winner.
I love that shot on the final lap. Where else in the world would you find Kamui Kobayashi and Kyle Busch sharing the same piece of asphalt? Daytona 24, there's no place else like it.
And that's why it's called Daytona International Speedway. That's what Bill Francina wanted. Coming through NASCAR 3 and 4 for the final time. Yes, he has done it again. Wayne Taylor's done it again. His drivers have done it again. And Cadillac's done it again. Kamui Kobayashi and Wayne Taylor Racing win the Rolex 24 at Daytona for 2020. There's the man behind the name. He's done it. And so too has Bobby Rahal's guys. Jesse Krohn wins GT Le Mans. John Edwards, Augusto Farfus and Chaz Mostert. What a quartet they've formed. And BMW gets back-to-back victories in GTLM. Superb performance. There's Ringer van der Zande, Scott Dixon, Ryan Briscoe, they're all there. Shelley Taylor, Wayne's wife. It is celebration at the Konica Minolta team for yet another overall victory. For Dragon Speed, Elton Julian and his squad. It is back-to-back victories. There's a familiar theme running through this year's Rolex 24. In the LMP2 class, the Stars and Stripes, the Evel Knievel themed car. It has done it again. Awesome performance from a completely new driving squad to last year. And one more class left, that is GT Daytona, and Paul Miller Racing will do it. A phenomenal performance from Madison Snow, Brian Sellers, Corey Lewis, and Andrea Caldarelli brings it across the line for a Lamborghini win, and Paul Miller can finally celebrate victory at Daytona in the Rolex 24. But let's go to the overall winners with Dave Burns.